Welcome to another episode of Studio 103. We all know that summer is coming soon and we're gonna go to the beaches, swimming pools and water parks to cool off. Without lifeguards, those fun places cannot open. Did you know there's a shortage of lifeguards in New York City? We'll dive into that issue with an official from the Parks Department. Plus, if you're looking to be one of the lifeguards on those tall chairs ready and waiting to help someone, you need working papers for that to happen. We'll show you how that process works so you can start hunting for your summer job. We'll have those stories coming up as Studio 103 starts right now. Welcome to episode number 7 of Studio 103. I'm your host, Delaughn Francois. There has been a lot of reports on the news about the shortage of lifeguards at beaches, public pools, and amusement parks. In this segment, studio producer Elijah Oliver Ragu interviewed the Parks Department and our own swim coach, Mr. Dupree.
Thanks again. I'm so excited to welcome our next guest to talk to us about the lifeguard shortage in New York City. We have joining us today the first Deputy Commissioner of the New York City Parks Department, Recreations, Iris Rodriguez Rosa, and our swimming instructor and lifeguard himself, Mr. Leonardo Dupree. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. So, Ms. Rosa, can you tell us more about your role as the Commissioner of the Parks Department, like what you do and more about yourself?
So I enjoy so very much being the first Deputy Commissioner in New York City Parks because I, along with Agency Commissioner Sue Donahue, we oversee 30,000 acres of parkland. And in that parkland, we have things like basketball courts, baseball fields. We have so many playgrounds. We have, and the most important thing that we have for the summer, we have our beaches and pools. And those are very important assets that we have. So for me, I'm proud to be able to be the first Deputy Commissioner of such a wonderful, amazing agency.
That's great. And Mr. Dupree, can you tell us more about yourself, your role as a swimming instructor, swimming coach, and just overall one of the 2 swimming people in this school who are lifeguards?
Okay. Again, my name is Leonardo Dupree. I'm one of the PE teachers here at Harry S. Truman High School, one of the 2 swim instructors here at Harry S. Truman High School, and I do coach both boys and girls swim teams when in season. So my job as a swim instructor is to teach kids how to swim, and the skills do vary. There are kids who are experienced, and then there are kids who in the past may have had a traumatizing experience growing up, and my job is to break those chains and hopefully get them to be comfortable in and around the water in the foreseeable future. A few kids that have swam and lifeguarded, I'll hope for potentially you, Elijah.
Yeah.
There's a few kids that off the top of my head who these guys are recent graduates, Victor Pineda, Jose Guzman, and these guys, they all, a few years ago, they came in as freshmen. I taught them how to swim, and then they graduated with lifeguard certifications, and they ventured off into lifeguards.
That's great.
While still pursuing their educational careers at college.
Yeah, I just spoke to Victor. He told me about how he used to swim here before the pool was shut down and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So moving on from that, let's talk about the crux of this whole thing, lifeguard shortages. Can you tell us more about that? How it's affecting New York and the overall nation?
Well, as we know, that it's not just unique to New York City. Yeah. It's actually something that's national, the lifeguard shortage. So after COVID, I think it seems that it dwindled in terms of the people being interested in becoming lifeguards. And it's a wonderful opportunity. What I have to tell to everyone is this is an opportunity for young people to have their first job. Yeah. And this job can lead to many things. Many of the lifeguards have gone on to be teachers. They've gone on to be firemen, policemen. So so they can start their first career in public service as being a lifeguard. And what's wonderful about it is that you're engaging the public. What you're doing is you're providing safe opportunities for people to enjoy. And now when we have talking about global warming, you know, we think about people need to be able to have those outlets to be able to go out. And having the young people understand that they're vital and that they're so important to be able to provide that safety, a safe net for them to be able to come to our beaches and pools. So we look forward. It's a $22 a day. You know, it's an hour. I'm sorry, $22. Not a day. $22 an hour for them to be able to. It's a good salary for a young person to be able to start off with. And to tell you that for those returning lifeguards that come back, there's a $1,000 stipend that it's given to them for them to return back.
That's great. As a swim teacher, Mrs. E, because we're talking about this right now, have you noticed like a sharp decline within people's interest in becoming lifeguards at all, or is it about the same post-COVID or pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID, there was the excitement of wanting to be in the class.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, the numbers have dwindled. To be honest, I think the number one reason, and this is something that I believe in, swimming competes with all the other household sports. So swimming competes against kids that want to participate in basketball, football, and all the other sports. Not only here, but I'm talking about nationwide. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, in the foreseeable future, we can get kids interested in swimming again, because across the board, in the 3 classes that I teach now, all of the students are predominantly freshmen. So if I think the age requirement to work as a New York City lifeguard is 16 years old, come junior year, these kids should have the skill sets and they should be ready to take these pre-qualifying tests. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in the foreseeable future, we can get kids ready, not only for New York City Parks Department, but for whatever lifeguarding avenue that they want to venture off into.
Okay, I get that. And I was actually there for the day when like the pool reopened. I was taking photography photos. And while I was there, I noticed that like we had a display of people jumping into the water. Do you think you guys are gonna have like more events where you're opening more pools? Because I remember the chancellor, I believe, saying that it was like a $1 million stipend to reopen pools in public schools. Do you think those pools that are gonna be reopened can be like opportunities for like for kids to like who want to become lifeguards or just want to like swim in general? Do you think that could be helpful in helping the shortage?
So when we're talking about being able, when we were here before and there was an opportunity, you mentioned the funding that was appropriated, but there's funding also appropriated to be able to fix many of the pools, because many of our pools are antiquated, so the infrastructure is old, so we're trying to be able to upgrade those. And when we're talking about, the Department of Education has been absolutely phenomenal in being able to open up more pools in their schools, which it's definitely needed. And I think it becomes critical for the young people to know how important it is. When you talk about the other athletics and the other programs, swimming is a very important skill to be able to have, and it's also physically good for your own physicality of it, but also it gives you an opportunity to get a job, an early job, on it as well.
Okay, so speaking about the jobs and stuff, what's like the process of like applying, getting hired? Because I know you've been doing it for a long time, and you're the commissioner, of course. So like, what's the process? Like, how do you like apply? Like, how's the pre-test like? What's the requirements for someone who would want to apply, like me, for example?
So what happens is, and I want to thank Mr. Dupree, because Mr. Dupree has been a lifeguard with the City of New York also for many, many years, and I want to give him all the kudos and accolades for continuing to be able to serve the City of New York in that capacity as well. So we're very excited about having him come year after year to know the importance of it, of being able to provide that service to the city. So the interest, the first thing is interest. You have to have an interest and a desire to want to do that. And then we suggest that you go onto the New York City Department of Parks website and be able to register to take the qualifying test. The qualifying test has been given. Now you have to do 50 yards in 50 seconds. which is much more reasonable than has been in the past, and gives many other people an opportunity to be able to qualify. And then after that, you go into a training class to be able to do that, and then at the end you take an exam. And depending on how you do the exam, you're able to either go to a beach or a pool. And of course, there's you have to be healthy. You know, you have to have a doctor's note. There's a vision requirement. There's many things that you have to, because we want you to be physically fit to be able to do it. But we've had so many people come and apply, so we've done better than last year, and we're hoping to continue to do. So we have 10 more at this point today. We have 10 more qualifiers that are coming up.
All right. So for the qualifiers, they're all free to register, and for the qualifiers, just the 50-yard freestyle and then the vision test, and that's it?
Yes.
Okay. And then for like the other classes within the 40 weeks, like for the 40 hours you have to do, how does that work? Like, do you pick the class you go to? Is it like on a weekly basis? Like, how exactly does that work?
So we have it was primarily in one location where the training was actually being held. And for the first time this year, we're actually doing, we did last year, we did also for Hamilton High School. Again, DOE being an amazing partner. So we did for Hamilton High School. And this year, we're going to open it up to another high school in Staten Island. There's going to be I believe another location. So we're adding locations where the training can actually occur.
Do you both feel that like adding these more locations will give students more opportunities and more like of a encouragement to like want to apply, want to become a lifeguard? Because I know going to Staten Island is really far.
Absolutely. I think if Parks Department were to offer not only the pre-qualifying test, but if Parks Department were to offer the course here, I think it would definitely incentivize our students. Again, I think personally speaking, being paid $22 an hour at 16 years old, this is money for you. You can cover your own expenses, and it can potentially help you get through college as well.
For the jobs now, I'm assuming, are they like seasonal or like they're year-round kind of thing? Like, how does those work?
Well, right now it's always, like I said, we need 1,400 lifeguards. So it's seasonal. So the beaches open up on Memorial Day weekend, and we go through Labor Day, and then the pools open up like on 4th of July weekend, and they go through a week beyond Labor Day. So that's a seasonal job. And then we do have positions that are within the pools that we have that are indoor pools that we have. So we have a certain amount of lifeguards that also work year-round.
Got it. And for adults like Dupree, let's say if you wanted to work year-round, like how would the process be? Like, would he have to like retake the test after the seasonal thing, or would he just be able to like work year-round and then would he have to take it yearly? How does those work?
Oh, well, no matter whether you're a seasonal person or whether you're a year-round person, you have to take annual recertifications. So you have to be able to swim, because you want to make sure that everyone is up to speed on everything. So yes, whether you're seasonal or year-round, you have to take an updated test.
And for like a new adult who would want to like, someone who's not a teenager, because we're focusing a lot on teenagers right now, for like an adult, or let's say someone who's in their 20s, 25, 30, decides one day, you know what, I want to be a lifeguard. Is it like the same process? Is it a different process? Like, how does that work? Are people split into age groups? Like,
it's the same process. It's the same process, because you have to meet the qualifications and you have to meet the required testing and things like that. We had, we've had people up to 70 years old. Okay, so yes, for sure, we've had people up to 70 years old that became lifeguards and actually worked at a pool. So there is no age restriction that we have. As long as you meet the qualifications, you're good to go.
Got it. So as a swim teacher now, since we're talking about qualifications, what advice would you give someone, like, let's say a freshman who's never been in the water before, what advice would you give them to, like, perfect their skills in order to become a lifeguard?
For one thing I would say is just stick with it. Swimming, it's a roller coaster. There are going to be days where you're going to improve. There are days where you're going to stay where you are, and then there's certain skills where it's just like, I just can't absorb the material. So I would just say practice.
So speaking of practice, I know recently you started off your swim club, right? During your swim club, do you believe that you could be able to train more students who would want to become a lifeguard there, or would you be willing to do that?
I think so, because not everybody's aware that we offer swimming here as a gym class during the day. I do teach periods 3, 4, and 5, boys, and then Miss Sider also teaches periods 6, 7, and 8, which is all girls. So I'm hoping with the swim club being offered Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 5 after school here, that we can get more kids, because that's the plan. You know, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to teach kids how to swim, and hope and potentially lead them to these avenues where they can become lifeguards. Because again, this is just for them to get their feet in, to get their feet wet, for them to get their feet in the door, and then from here you can branch off into anything. New York City police officer, fire department. You can become a teacher. It's the possibilities are unlimited.
Yeah.
They really are. And for the lifeguard training, just quick thing, you get CPR training, correct?
Yes,
Got it.
absolutely.
So my last thing for you both is, what advice would you give anyone who wants to become a lifeguard? You know, for a teen, adult, even the kid watching a Disney Channel show and seeing a lifeguard running on the beach. What would you give advice to them?
My advice is that it's the best job to be able to have as your first job, or at any point in life. It's a wonderful opportunity to be out there, to be able to know that you're servicing the public. And what I understand, that a good day is when you don't have to save anyone, when everyone is having a good time at our beaches and pools, right?
Yeah.
They're having a great time, but at least you know that the person sitting in that chair is a person that is qualified and it's doing their job to be able to protect you.
Just do it.
Just
Just do it and don't look back. Because again, you'll make great memories, friendships, everlasting friendships, and it's just the foundation. So like I said, just do it.
All right. So would you guys like to share anything else?
Now, to say, Elijah, thank you so very much. And we thank Truman High School, and we hope to be able to see you all out there at our beaches and pools.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, anytime, guys. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank Deputy Parks Commissioner Iris Rodriguez-Rosa and our own swimming instructor, Leonardo Dupree, for joining us today. Hopefully, we could come back here in future to see how the recruitment is going. I'm Elijah Alvaragu, and we'll send it right back to you.
It's now springtime and many of you have started your job hunting for the summer. If you didn't know, you need working papers for that. Today, in Studio 103, our very own Delaughn Allen sat down with the Truman Administrative Assistant to discuss that.
Thank you very, very much. My name is Delaughn Allen from Truman Media. I'm here with Danielle Maiello from the Working Papers at Truman High School, and we are here to give you an insight about everything that goes on that we don't know about. So how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, LaShawn?
I'm significantly fine. You know, I'm having a good day.
Great.
But what exactly are working papers?
Well, working papers is a form that you need in order to apply for a job. So this is what the form looks like. And these are the 3 documents that you would need, which is a birth certificate, a social security card, and an updated physical.
A physical. What do we need a physical for?
Well, you need the physical in order to say that you're physically fit to work, in order also to attend school.
Yeah, and then that's kind of significant too, because if you're going to work, you gotta have your body on point.
That's right. And also, if you want to play sports, you also need that.
So
well.
How do the students go about getting the working papers?
Okay, so they could go to room 258, which is the main office, and you could ask for an application for your working papers, which here it is. I laminated it for you.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a stamp in the right-hand corner. It's going to tell you the documents you need, which is your birth certificate, your social security, and an updated physical.
Yeah.
When you have all the documents, you go back to room 258 at the end of your day or during the day with a pass, and you will be able to get your working card. And these are the 3 working cards, and they go by the ages.
The ages, so
yeah.
The blue one is what age?
You see here?
Yeah,
so
14, 15.
Okay, and then this is?
16, 17.
And then now this one is for a student who works full-time and doesn't attend school. So this is a special card just for that.
So y'all provide for outsiders too?
Yes, anybody could come from other schools as well to get the working papers.
Yeah, I hear that. All right. So during all of that, can you walk me through the process? Otherwise, like when we go there, who do we speak to?
In the office, in the main office, you will speak to Miss Flora. She works behind the desk, and you could ask her, and she will assist you. Yes.
All right. So, does the school provide any specific location for us to go to, like where the working papers only work at McDonald's?
You could go anywhere.
Anywhere.
You could apply online. You could apply for Summer Youth. Actually, I looked it up because since I'm not over there anymore, I saw they extended it to March 14th, where you could put your application in for Summer Youth.
So, Another question: do the clinic that we have at Truman provide physical or an appointment to get everything done to bring back to room 258? You said.
Yes, so that's Morris Heights Clinic. Yes, you'll have to get an application in the guidance office, and your parents will have to sign that in order for you to go downstairs to the clinic to make an appointment for your physical.
Make an appointment to the physical. Well, you know, that's very, very interesting because at first I thought that I would have to go outside to another
To your
clinic.
regular thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
know?
could go. You could go here as long
So-
as your parents say it's okay. Yes.
The social security number, you said we need it here.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to talk about with that, you know, to let us have
Well,
any
everyone
insight?
needs a social security card
Yeah.
to work also along with the physical and the birth certificate or a passport as
Yeah.
well.
So
You could use either the birth certificate or a passport
if
as well.
we don't have a social security number, you know, there's a lot of immigrants and stuff.
Yeah, that.
How do we go about that? They can't get it, or
Yeah, that I would have to find out about that. Yeah, I don't know how that.
oh,
I
that
need
doesn't
information
work.
on that right
Well,
now.
you know, there's a lot of color. It's pretty right here that we're doing here. But yes, guys, we're here with Miss Daniello from room
220.
220. Yes, beautiful office, by the way. I visited her, and it was a nice office. I like your office very much. And is there anything else that we needed to know that I didn't ask you about today?
I think we covered everything, LaShawn. I think you
Everything.
did a good job.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Miss Daniela.
You're very welcome.
And we are going to give it back to you.
That's all we have for episode 7 of Studio 103. Remember, we want to get you involved. If you have an idea for a segment, come visit us in Studio 103 on the first floor or scan the QR code on your screen. I'm Delaughn Francois. We'll see you here next time.